live, all messages will be visible. Um, there's a lot of things that a lot of you out there have challenges with, and when you're looking at your challenges instead of your successes, that's when you really start to realize that you have what it takes inside of you. And so I know, at least for myself, that the biggest place inside is the mental endurance. It's the ability to continue even when others would say it's not possible. And a lot of times, our minds are the thing that stops us. Our minds are the ones that will tell us, can we do this? Can we achieve this? Is it worth it? And getting live, it reminds me that we sometimes forget about that. We forget about what it means to truly be ourselves. It's quite amazing when you start to see yourself succeed, when you're opening up your mentality, when you're opening up your ability. And you know, the great part about being able to understand energy is not that we just have energy, it's that with our energy, we go through challenges. With our energy, we go through parts inside of ourselves that are sometimes not easy. And it opens you up to something that goes beyond, and that is when you go within. And there, there's space for you to grow. And a lot of times a lot of people out there feel like they're always failing, like surrendering everything that they have of being themselves to what others would feel. And that's not the case. What you look for inside of yourself, what you look for inside of your being, what you're going to become, what you're going to manifest, is more important than the challenges that you face off against. So, in other words, when you're facing off against challenges, what are you doing that's going to ensure that you're going to succeed? What are you doing that's going to ensure that when challenges come your way, you're going to find a way through them? And I know that a lot of the challenges that we face off against on a daily basis are within our mind, and they're there for us. They're there for us to open our ability inside and to open up our mentality. A lot of times, the challenges that we're facing are not coming from somebody else, they're coming from within you, they're coming from within what you're seeking out after. And it's quite amazing when you're having challenges and you're succeeding at the same time. It's quite amazing when you decide, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to continue forward. When your challenges start to come and you become the result, when your challenges come and you become the reason. And so, how many of you out there have faced off against challenges like that? How many of you out there have had things that didn't work out for you and didn't work in your favor, and you still succeeded? You still found a way. You still found a purpose and a place inside of you, you know. Failure is a sign of success. If you're learning from your failures, if you're growing through your challenges, if you're becoming greater in your ability, then your challenges become your friend. And there's a lot of people that give in. They say they're not good enough, that they can't achieve or become the light that they wish to become. And it's inside of this that we find ourselves. It's inside of this that we find our being. And I feel like a lot of people have gone to the point of failure and then they give up and they go and work for somebody else's team. They give up and they throw in the towel. And when they're throwing in the towel, it's not just on themselves, it's on those that will come into their life, that will come into their future, that will come into their manifestation. And it's quite amazing when you're able to succeed even in failure. You know, it's quite amazing when you don't give up even when everything isn't working in your favor. Because if you continue, then you start to build a level of endurance, you start to build a level of self, you start to build a level of energy. And it's ability to grow that opens the mind. And there's many that limit that ability. There's many that will try to hold you back and try to hold you from what you're looking to get after. And you have what it takes inside of yourself to become that person that you wish to become. You have inside of yourself that it's not met from somebody else's thinking or somebody else's process. And so if you can learn from yourself and you can grow through your challenges and you can believe in yourself, then the challenges that you have on the outside are not greater than what's going on the inside. And through failure, you'll find success. And through failure, you'll win. And when you're positively winning, when you're positively facing challenges, when your challenges no longer have the ability to stop you, that is what we call success. When you're going beyond and going within and finding what it takes to be yourself, that's true success to me, friends. That's true success inside of who we are. And it's quite amazing when we find that place, when we find that purpose to where our growth comes from within who we are. And a lot of people feel it's not available, it's not possible. But let me ask you, have you ever failed? Have you ever truly failed to the point where you have to look up to be able to succeed? Have you ever failed to the point where everything on you breaks down and you still continue? You still find a way? And inside of that way, there's much more. Inside of that way, there's a greater place, a greater purpose. And, you know, doing this for year in and year out, you'll see that it works. You know, my roommate is now a business owner. I also have my own transportation business. Everything that you do vibrates outwards, friends. It vibrates outwards in a way in which the effects magnify, the effects become, the effects manifest. And as you're going through those challenges, as you're getting the part of yourself where you become and where you manifest your dreams and your realities, you'll become something great that is much more than what other people would expect. You know, there's a great process in evolving. There's a great process in understanding. There's a great process in being and being yourself. And it it's quite amazing when you start to express and you start to know yourself and you start to know that you have what it takes. I know at least inside of myself that when I'm going through challenges, the reminder is that our vibration is something great. Our vibration is something amazing. And it makes more sense on a daily basis to me when I see the dreams come possible. I see the things that other would say it's not possible to be possible. I think that we are out in a world and sometimes we forget to use the skills that we have. Sometimes we forget that inside of ourselves is all we truly need to be who we are, to manifest our dreams, to manifest our reality. And it's amazing when you're becoming your dreams, when you're becoming your reality. And it's on a daily that our minds can open up.